Gruesome new hostage videos spark outrage and calls for a ceasefire in Gaza. Good evening in Washington, I'm Jenna Browder. The disturbing new footage released by Hamas and Islamic Jihad shows two Israeli hostages, skin and bones, begging to be saved. In one video, 24-year-old Evyatar David is deep inside a Gaza tunnel, digging what he describes as his own grave. Former hostage Tal Shoham confirms he was held in the same tunnel complex and describes what he witnessed there.
Even when I was there, it's a severe vitamin C deficiency. It's really dangerous disease. And from looking on him now, I really think that he doesn't have more than few days.
And another video shows 21-year-old Rom Braslavski, a German-Israeli captive, who said he's suffering unbearable pain. In Jerusalem, White House envoy Steve Witkoff met with hostage families, telling them President Trump wants to broker a ceasefire that would return all remaining hostages, as international aid groups warn that famine in Gaza is getting worse. And with that, let's bring in our panel, Senior White House Correspondent Kelly Wright and Joe Truzman, Senior Research Analyst and Editor at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies Long War Journal. Both of you welcome. So, Kelly, the White House is talking about an all-or-nothing deal in Gaza. What can you tell us about that and the president's strategy?
Well, Jenna, that's right. The president is looking at the videos of the same things that we've been watching, and he's heartbroken by all of this and very frustrated. He wants an end to this situation that's been going on since October 7th, 2023. And now Steve Witkoff has indicated that this is no longer a piecemeal deal. This is an all-or-nothing approach now that they're pushing in order to get all of the hostages returned home, and to do it expeditiously, not in incremental stages, but to do it in full, total release of all the hostages, those who are alive and those who unfortunately have passed away since being in captivity. The bottom line here is that the president wants it done immediately. The problem and the impediment has always been Hamas.
Yeah. You know, the families of these hostages, they're certainly hoping for that, too. We've had Evyatar David's brother on this show twice, I believe, and seeing those images this weekend, it just broke my heart thinking about that family. Joe, we're seeing reports that Netanyahu is looking to order a full takeover of Gaza. Meanwhile, more than a dozen former security officials say Israel is losing and should end the war now. What do you make of all of this?
Right. First of all, thank you for having me on. Well, there's the problem here for the Israelis is that there's two main goals, all right, since the beginning of the war: destroy Hamas and as well rescue the hostages. We're almost 2 years into this war now, and so far, not all of the hostages have been rescued, and Hamas is still operating. So now I think the United States and Israel is at a point where it is warning Hamas, okay, Israel may occupy or may take over the Gaza Strip entirely if you do not sign a ceasefire deal. But the problem is that may not work with being able to rescue all of the hostages, all right? And that's the problem I think that the Israeli political echelon faces, the Israeli government, of course, and Israeli citizens. So this is why this is such a contentious issue at the moment. It may be either destroy Hamas or rescue all the hostages that are still there. Yeah,
it's a very delicate balance and a real political headache for the Israeli government. Kelly, we've seen increased warnings of famine inside Gaza. Washington has said the U.S. will help Israel set up food centers. Has the White House given any more details on that, what that might look like?
So, Jenna, to your point, the president has indicated that he wants to establish U.S.-based food centers in Gaza in order to get the food to the people in need of it, and he wants to do that through Israel, meaning the Israeli Defense Forces. But the problem is Hamas. Hamas remains the impediment. Hamas remains the problem, and using the propaganda war, they, as Jonathan Conricus has talked to us on this program, they've been able to win this propaganda war by interfering and impeding some of the distribution of that food. Now, you recall this past Friday, Steve Witkoff, as well as Ambassador Mike Huckabee, went into Gaza. These are the two senior officials of the Trump administration who actually entered into Gaza, and they had briefings with IDF forces as well as members, relief workers, if you will, of the GHF, the Gaza Humanitarian Fund. And Ambassador Huckabee pointed out how the GHF has been able to provide 1 million meals a day to people in need of the food. And the criticism from the UN as well as other relief organizations have stated that's not enough. But it is something that's being done in order to establish those food distribution centers. They've taken that firsthand information, sharing it with the president. The president and his team will now figure out how to do and implement those food centers as well as provide medical relief.
Yeah. Joe, I wanted to ask you about the hostage videos and the timing of those. Just released as international pressure is mounting on Israel over the Gaza aid issue, as Kelly was just mentioning. From your perspective, Joe, why did Hamas and Islamic Jihad choose this moment to release these horrible, horrible videos?
Right. I think you, in part, answered the question. Listen, Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and other Palestinian terrorist organizations, well, they read the news like you and me. They see what's how the international backlash that Israel has been receiving over the last weeks due to the humanitarian issue in Gaza. So they figured now is a good time to publish these videos. They knew what the reaction will be or would have been to the pictures of these seriously emaciated Israeli hostages, these captives. So it plays into their strategy. And what's that strategy? They're trying to force the Israeli government to sign a ceasefire deal that's on Hamas's terms. All right, this is done to pressure the Israeli government to elicit an emotional response. These pictures of these emaciated hostages. Mm-hmm. So this is why they chose to do it now. And so far, we've seen how the media has reacted to these pictures. But for now, we have not seen a ceasefire deal signed by either side.
Yeah. All right, Joe and Kelly, great conversation. Thank you, gentlemen.